Welcome back after the innings break. Last flourish for Gulsanja, 20 of 6 with 3 consecutive sixes. That helped Nepal to post 141 in 20 overs, losing 7 wickets. It's under par score. The average score here in this particular ground is 151. It's slightly under par, but Nepal has the bowlers to defend it. They have to bowl in right channels like what Kuwait did.
Well, good evening and a warm welcome back here to the, well, quite beautiful Oman Cricket Academy grounds here in Al Emirat. We're all set for the third and final match of the first day. We've seen a highly entertaining and an ebbing and a flowing first day of this ICC Men's T20 World Cup Asia EAP qualifier, the combined regions coming together to decide the final 3 spots. We know 17 of the places for next year's T20 World Cup in India and Sri Lanka. We're waiting to find out the final 3, and we'll find them over the course of the next 10 days. Andrew Leonard here alongside Paresh Lahani. We've got Clinto Anto alongside Rajiva Sandarawan to open the batting for Kuwait. Looks like Sampal Kami's going to take the new ball. Paresh, good evening to you. 141 on the board for Nepal. Will it be enough?
It's a very tricky score. If they bowl well, they will defend the target, but they have to bowl in the right areas, what Kuwait did in the first innings.
Slip in place. We're all set for the second innings. Let's go. Immediate aggression, real aggression from Clinto Anto. Is that a sign that Kuwait have identified to chase this total down? They're going to have to go hard in the power play?
Yeah, I think that is the case. And you can see the field. There's a deep sweeper cover in the boundary line on the offside, and the other boundary rider is deep square leg. The 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle in the power play.
Yeah, gone with the split field, hasn't he? So the sort of a deep point in place and then a deep square leg. That means that the third and fine leg have to be up in the circle. And Rajiva Sandarawan, probably a bit more of a 50-over player, tends to like to get in. But he could play that Kushal Bertel role, try and anchor this innings for Kuwait. And what Nepal will try to do on the reverse side of that is try and bowl as many dot balls as possible. Nepal's fielding will be under the microscope. It was exceptional in the second match of the Unity Cup against the West Indies, and then it was quite poor actually in the third game.
Yeah, there were a couple of drop catches in the third game against West Indies. They have to have a point to prove in the fielding sector that they are extremely good.
And they've got to outfield their opposition. I thought Kuwait, on the whole, were pretty good in the field and did really well in that first innings. Slip comes out of place and Bertel almost creates a run-out opportunity. Well backed up too by Dipender Singh Hari. Live wires in the field. If you are just tuning in for the first time, you're welcome along to the coverage. We'd love to hear from you. We just got out amongst the Nepal fans there in between the innings. 3, maybe 400 or 500 of them in here at the Oman Cricket Academy. But we'd love to hear from where you're watching from. Use that hashtag T20 World Cup. Tell us where you're watching from, which part of the world, how you're enjoying the action, and who you think's going to win. Might read a few of those messages out if we get some time. Oh, now this is going to be number 1. It's just skidded on. Not a good-looking shot at all. And the off stump has gone for a walk, and Sampal Kami will celebrate.
Exceptionally good bowling by Sampal Kami. Bowling right on the good areas. That is what, in the first innings, the Kuwaiti bowler did. What Farooq did. That is what Sampal Kami has done this evening. Pitched on off stump. The ball rattling the off stump. Skidded on. The batsman had no clue about the ball.
Well, it wasn't the right shot, was it? It's a shot that should have been a back foot punch And for what, the 7th, 8th, maybe 9th time in the 2 games we've done here at this ground today, Paresh, a batter's dismissed trying to play across the line.
Yes, never play across the line when the ball is moving around. You have to play straight with a straight bat. We all said earlier in those days, 1980s, 70s, play on the V, and that kind of a surface. It's a left-hander, Meet Papser at number 3 for Kuwait.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the keys now. Meet Babster is a class act. A really stylish player too, the left-hander. You could see Sampal Kami pumped up. It must have been a very touch-and-go call as to whether to go with Kami or Nandan Yadav or Karen KC. It was probably only sort of 2 of the 3 that could play. KC's the one who missed out. And KC will be watching on. His great friend Sampal Kami, who he loves so much, has already probably justified that selection decision. This was a great delivery, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Pitch on off, some hurried to the batsman. Yeah, like you said, Lenny, trying to play across the line. Nothing short.
It's a straight. It's almost as though he hasn't picked the ball up particularly well. And anyone who's played against Sampal Kami knows he's not particularly tall, but he's very skiddy. He always gets it to skid on. I don't think it kept as low as Sandra Owan was indicating. Great bowling from the veteran. That one is going to miss the leg stump and nearly creates a right chance for Irie. Great piece of backing up. I think it's Bertel on the far side who does so well to save any overthrows. It's going to be 2 runs from the first over. It's chaos out there. The cardiac kids are at it again. And it's 2 for 1 at the end of the first. Yeah, missing leg stump too.
Definitely missing leg stump. A good first over by Sampal Kami. A wicket and just 2 runs off it. 1 is a leg by. 1 from the bat. 2 for 1 Kuwait.
Lovely to hear messages coming in already from all around the world. Fans watching from New York, watching on live somewhere on Kantapur Max HD back there in Nepal, so live on the television. Back in your home and my second home, Paresh, a place I hold so fondly in my heart, as Nandan Yadav is going to open things up from the Oman LNG end. Got a little bit of a tweak of a side or maybe a kind of the top of his lower back in that first match of the Unity Cup. Only bowled the 1 over, did take a wicket and then was rested for the rest of the series as a precaution. He's a very important player these days. It starts with a big wide outside the off stump, just as I say that. But use that hashtag T20 World Cup. Hashtag T20 World Cup. Tell us where you're watching from, who you think's going to win, and maybe who the 3 qualifiers are going to be. Love to hear which part of the world you're enjoying the action from. If you want to get in touch with me directly, at Cricket Badge on either Twitter or Instagram, we'll read a couple of the questions out. I'm sure you all have questions from my old friend Paresh Lahani, who's alongside me. Good atmosphere building up here now, Paresh.
Yes, it is. The Nepali fans cheering the team. First wicket taken by Sampal Kami in the field. There's a 3rd man and deep backward square leg.
There's a bit of movement, isn't there? Yeah, we saw Kami bringing it back into the left-hander, and again the same. Don't think they'll want to take on any of the Nepal fielders, even Sandeep Lamachani out there who does enough. It's another leg by. For Kuwait, who did so much brilliantly well in that first innings, it was probably just that 19th over has taken a bit of their momentum away. They still would have been happy enough with 140 at the start of the innings, potentially.
Yes, they would have been happy with 140 on board. The target is 142. The 19th over, 27 runs coming off it. And the last over, 2 wickets and just 6 runs.
They gave it away and then fought back, didn't they, in 2 different final overs, the 19th and the 20th. Significant movement, isn't there? And Rashid Riaz has a long think, and I think ends up with the right decision. I think that was outside the guideline. Really has swung, though.
Yes, this is a good decision by Rashid Riaz, a very experienced umpire from Pakistan. It's pretty hard for Nandan Yadav to adjust the right hand left hand combination. That is why he bowled the first ball, trying to angle the ball away from the left hander, went way wide, and this time around getting that movement away from the right hander.
Now this one probably cross seam because it didn't swing at all, just struggling to control the scale of movement potentially.
This is a good start by Nepal, taking the wicket in the first over. Clinto Anto on 1 of 2, whereas Papser yet to open his account.
Definite movement, well adjusted by Clinto Anto. Having lost that wicket and seen the movement, do Kuwait almost maybe need to readjust their approach? It seemed like they were sent out with a lot of intent.
Maybe the first wicket went down, it was a nothing shot. That is why the approach probably has changed now. It's not a big target, but you have to get those runs to get a victory out of it.
Chip down the ground, not in complete control, but a very good shot. And just extends the arms and will get 4. Bavsar will hold a lot of keys to this chase for Kuwait, and that's a sparkling stroke. The full blade of the bat shown, and that's the key difference.
And even the bottom hand coming off the bat, hit it straight down the ground, straight as an arrow, with a straight bat. And that is the way you should play the swinging ball or the moving ball, not play across the line.
It's something I suppose we're saying again and again throughout the course of the innings. The surface is a little slow, there is movement out there. If you go at it with a cross bat, you're going to get yourself in trouble. You even think of those 3 sixes from Gulshan Jah. Okay, you can say they were over the extra cover region, but that was a straight bat that he was extending through with. And the other sixes, the other profit areas we've seen, have tended to be straight down the ground.
That is what we discussed about from the first game in this particular ground, Qatar versus UAE. Whoever plays across the line, they get out. Even in the first inning, Asif Sheikh, for example, he tried to play across the line, was plumb in front.
Again, plays straight, but a good piece of fielding. One-handed pickup from Kushal Bertel, who, well, if anything, he's elevated his fielding up towards that sensational level of Dipender Singh Airi. Hard to split the two of them at the moment, particularly right now. End of the second over, 10 for 1. And what a great atmosphere we have. Entirety of this main grandstand, the media centre end, pretty much full to the brim with what I gather is entirely Nepal fans. I can be open to correction. And they're creating a great atmosphere, Paresh. This should be a good contest, shouldn't it? I don't think whichever way it goes, it will be a big win either way.
Yes, it will, and it'll be a winning start for either of the teams starting off the tournament. It is the qualifier.
It's the key, and that's where the pressure cooker kicks in. We're getting messages from every corner of the world, not just the cricketing world, I mean every corner of the world, primarily from some of the Nepalese diaspora. Great to hear from all of you. Gives himself room outside the leg stump. Clinto Anto continues with his aggression. Already heard from fans in Canberra watching at 4 o'clock in the morning. What? How are you staying up? He says he's starting his work shift, Vijay Pragya, at 6 a.m. I don't think you're going to sleep at this rate, my friend. Great to see the passion from every corner of the world. Lots of fans watching on from Nepal. We've messages from Birgunj, from Lalitpur, from all across, from Pokhara as well, from down in Bairoa. This one thuds into the pad. Kami looks to me to be bowling at a good pace here, as quick as Nandan Yadav, both up in that sort of 135 kilometre an hour range, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Kami is not that tall, but he skids the ball. He gets the ball to skid through the surface, and the grass is helping him. Nandan Yadav, on the other hand, he's a quick. He uses his shoulder at the last moment. That is why he gets that bounce.
Nice little shape in, but they'll get through for the single. Do have a great question for you, Paresh. I think Bipin Gamer for this. He says, despite Nepal's rich legacy of quality left-arm spinners, why do our top-order batsmen for Nepal still struggle against them and end up tasting their own medicine? It has been a bit of a trend of late, hasn't it? Nepal struggling against left-arm spin.
Yes, it has been, and the key factor to that is they are regularly playing Lalit Rajbangshi or Shahab Alam or other left-armers in Nepal. They should get some left-arm spinners from India, or go to India and play left-arms with different left-arm spinners.
Big swing and a miss. Anto is only being sent out to do one thing, and another shot across the line, not affected. In reference to the left arm spin in the first innings, there was 5 overs of it, and it was effective, just 1 for 26 from those 5 overs. The surprise for me was Yasin Patel didn't bowl his fourth and final, to be honest, but Mohammad Azam bowled nicely too, and then there was also the leg spin from Naveen Raj and Shiraj Sharif. Good start this from Nepal. They're going to need to be at their best. They don't have the power total of 150. Change in the field. Long on goes back. Deep point comes into the circle now. Deep square leg stays out. Swinging away merrily here to not much reward, Clinto Anto.
Yeah, getting that inside edge again, coming down the track, trying to heave that down to long on. Again, trying to play across the line. If you're coming down the pitch, why don't you use a straight bat? Try to hit it over the bowler's head or over mid-off.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. That's where you got to go. You've got to bomb it down the ground. I think going square, particularly the fielders out there protecting square, beats the outside edge. Only 3 runs again. It's that skid from Kami, and the score is 13 for 1. Just want to explain this format for those who might just be tuning in. Maybe you finished work or you've woken up in a different part of the world. 3 groups of 3 to get things going. This is the first group game in Group B. Myself and Paresh, we're going to have an early morning. Tomorrow morning we're back into action. We'll be doing, what are we doing tomorrow morning? Qatar against Malaysia, aren't we? So Qatar will have to win, otherwise they're out. And that's it. They're gone. It's that simple.
Yes, it is. And very hard for the teams coming all the way here to play just 2 games in a group. If you lose 2, you're out.
Yeah, and it's that simple. There's no doubt about it. Same situation and scenario for Samoa, and the same for whoever loses this match. And then just to explain it a bit further, if you get through your group, you will carry the result through with the other side you qualify with. So if you win 2 and you end up top of the group, you will obviously have 2 points then with both of those wins, only one of them counting. You'll play 4 more matches in the Super 6. There's an early change to the bowling. Lalit Rajbanshi comes on, and Bertel somehow nearly creates a run-out opportunity, sprawling to his left, diving and throwing in the same motion, but unable to get that throw on target. And then just to finish off the structure, the 1 game you carry through the result of, and the 4 results against the 2 other groups, top 2 that you'll play against, gives you 5 games in a Super 6 table. Top 3 in that qualify. No semi-finals, no final. Just that simple. And that means that whilst you can battle back, a good start is essential.
Yes, that is what Oman and UAE have done. They have won the first match, both the teams. Whoever wins today, they are in a comfortable position.
Do you mean particularly in this Group B, with Japan to play? Good shot. We've been talking about it again and again. Go straight down the ground. You'll get good reward there. It's the first maximum of the chase. And it's a really good stroke, isn't it? The way in which he extends his arms. Elegant as anything. One of the shots of the day for me.
Yes, it was. Hit it straight down the ground towards the side screen with a straight bat over the mid-off fielder. Like we always discuss about, hitting straight will get you good reward. That is a very good example.
Are you surprised with the change of bowling? I know Nandan Yadav was probably struggling to control the swing, but looked like it was very favourable in terms of seam bowling conditions. didn't necessarily need the change to spin, particularly with the fact that Rajbanshi's going to have to bowl to the left-hander here. Gets away with that one. That beats the infield. That runs for 4.
It's a packed offside field. There's a short third, backward point, cover point, extra cover, short extra, and mid off. The 5 fielders inside the circle. Another good hit. There's a chance for the fielder. Taken. Second wicket down. Meet Bhavsar has to depart. Sandeep Zohra takes a very neat catch, a comfortable catch at long on.
Now, what do I know about the matchups? Left arm spinner to the left-handed batter. We see it again and again. And maybe the change of bowling was a very good one. It might have cost the maximum. But the slight change in angle, it's a canny piece of bowling, isn't it? He's trying to go straighter. He might even be trying to go over long off. But Rajbanshi followed him. Jura takes the catch and he says, look at those lights, they're the brightest I've seen. What a looks quality to them. It's Bhavsar who's got to go back. He's gone for 11 and Nepal have 2 in the power play. How they would love a third. Kuwait 20 for 2. Such a clever operator, isn't he, Lalit Rajbanshi? You'd look at him sometimes without knowing him and you'd think he's a bit innocuous, but he's gone wider of the crease, changed the line, and as soon as he's delivered that, he's pointed to the sky. He said, I know that's out. And Jura says, well, hold on, I've got to catch it in these floodlights. And he does enough to do it. Usman Patel, the keeper batter, comes to the crease.
Yeah, Zohra was pointing towards the floodlights.
And all of a sudden, what was looking like a difficult over for Nepal turns into a good one. End of the 4th, 20 for 2 the score. And that 142 is looking like maybe a target the Kuwait are going to need to play well to get close towards. All of a sudden, do keep those messages coming in. We're hearing from every corner of the world, from South Korea, from down in Australia. Plenty of messages from Nepal, as you'd expect. And it's coming at a special time, Paresh. You'll tell people about this better, but those back in Nepal have just completed the Dashain celebrations now, or are they still just going?
No, actually, Dashain is over now, and they're waiting for Tihar, that is Deepavali, the Festival of Lights.
I remember Tihar. I was there for a Tihar. I think it was last year. Wonderful vibe in the Kathmandu Valley. Nandan Yadav's going to have a change of ends, maybe have a bit more success controlling the swing from this end as he charges in. All of a sudden, I think Kuwait are probably going to go into consolidation mode, but we haven't seen that from Clinto Anto. He's swung at every ball. What's he going to do?
Yeah, he's been swinging, but swinging across the line. That is why he's been missing the ball, getting those inside edges, getting those gloves. It's very simple. Very simple. Watch the ball. Try to hit it straight as you can. You'll get good reward.
Yeah, it's probably it sounds easy from up here. Always easy to watch it. Do this. Certainly, you're getting good reward down the ground so far today. And get yourself into a position of for Kuwait really believing they'll know the importance of this first game. Get a win. Hope for Nepal it will be a third, taking T20 through, but it's remarkable. He took that opening wicket. And get yourself into all three of them if they get there. Really believing.
Yes, he's the only one who played the first ever
for Nepal third T20 World Cup, but remarkably. Bit of innovation attempted, and the off stump is rocked back. All three of them. Nepal now have 3 in the power play.
Yes, he's the only one.
It's another very ambitious stroke. Kuwait's batters not really learning their lessons. Bit of innovation attempted, and the off stump is rocked back. Nepal now have 3 in the power play. You have to say as ambitious at best. It's another very ambitious stroke. Another good bowling change. Kuwait's batters not really learning their lessons.
Again, tried to play across the line.
And it's a shot yet to get off the mark.
The keeper's head.
Despite fine leg being up in the circle, you have to say as ambitious at best. And Nandan Yadav strikes another good bowling change.
Yes, it was beaten again, tried to play across the line. Then he has to depart for behind the keeper's head, the keeper batsman. Kuwait not watching the ball.
can't imagine
head
that
was
that
up.
पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
completely swung the game. Nepal, they took the momentum in from the first innings as a consequence, and now they've really picked that up with their bowling here in the second. It's been an inspired performance thus far, and Yasin Patel will come to the crease at number 5. These two will need to build a partnership. Too wide outside the off stump. There is pace there, isn't there, for Nandan Yadav?
And Nandav is trying to bowl across the left-hander, just pushing the ball away. That is why it went away. You can see his wrist position. It's facing towards the third man region. That is why the ball went away from the left-hander. It's good to see that the senior pro, Sompal Kami, coming to chat with Nandan Yadav, the young fast bowler.
Well, we see a bit of Dipender Singh Airi with the ball. He's looked in great form in terms of his bowling. Good against the West Indies in that first game. Very good in the warm-ups here.
Yes, he'll definitely come and bowl probably out of power play or inside power play. You never know. He opened the bowling against West Indies in the first game, and even in the second game as well.
Slightly leg-side-ish, and that will allow Yasin Patel to get off the mark. One thing is certain about Kuwait, though, they bat deep and kind of all the way down to number 10. They'll keep coming at Nepal. The challenge is what Nepal are doing, starving the boundaries and bowling dots here in the power play. They're building that required run rate up now. It's starting to push towards 8 runs per over.
The more dot balls Nepal bowl, the more pressure builds up on Kuwaiti batters. Kuwait in trouble, 23 for 3 in the 5th over.
Goes full and straight, takes on Gulshan Jah, who decides against throwing it. He was quite deep there at mid-on, so always an easy single as long as Anto went immediately. It'll get us to the end of the 5th over, and Kuwait are in a bit of trouble, 24 for 3.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Skyworth Home Appliances.
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
Panchakanya Steel.
The 6th, as the T20 game has evolved around for, well, not that much more than 2 decades now on the international scene, almost exactly 20 years. This has turned into a more and more important over, isn't it? Because the batters should have got the pace of the pitch, and it's the final one of the fielding restrictions. Nepal took it for 12 or maybe 14 in the first. Kuwait will need to do the same to start to get up towards that required run rate.
Yes, the 5 ball remaining of the power play. The left-arm spinner bowling against the left-hand batter. Matchup, we always talk about matchups. He already taken a wicket of a left-hander.
Yeah, right on the money. Rohit Powdell, his 50th T20I, just doing the fielding there as captain. Amazing to think of such a young man having led his country through some turbulent times. He probably assumed the captaincy in a way in which he wouldn't have envisaged or imagined, coming to the role at a very young age. This one can't be given out. LBW pitches outside the leg stump as Yasin Patel looks for the sort of sweep around the corner, but he's really grown into the role, hasn't he? And he looks very comfortable as a leader now.
Yes, he has done a terrific job captaining Nepal since 2022.
Also shows the volume of cricket that Nepal are playing these days. Again, pitches outside the leg stump. And you would have to say, probably the Cricket Association of Nepal, alongside some of the other boards, you think of the Ugandan Cricket Association, Kuwait themselves, Qatar, a lot of these boards are doing a really good job at getting games outside of the official ICC or ACC pathways, at getting bilateral tournaments. As the slog sweep comes out, and it's going to go over the head of Dipender Singh Airi. We said there'd be some attack in the 6th over. There indeed is. It comes from Yasin Patel, and Rajbanshi's hit for the second 6 of his spell.
Talking about matchups, this is a good clean hit by Yasin Patel towards square leg for a 6. Nicely picked up, slog sweep. He tried that shot earlier, he missed it. This time around, he got the mid of the bat.
Question will be, does he look to go again? Big gap at mid-wicket. Deep backward square is out, long on is out. Can't go again because Rajbanshi bowls flatter through the air. So it's again 7 from his over. He's got 1 for 14. Kuwait 31 for 3 at the end of 6.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
नेपाल टप सब ठीक ठाक
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह
A slog sweep by Yasin Patel in the last over of the power play, which went for 7 runs. After 6, Kuwait are 31 for 3, and there's a bowling change.
And a big cheer as well, because Sandeep Lamachani will come into the attack. He starts very well. Nice drift and a bit of turn away. A lot written about the reasons and the fact that he wasn't involved in the West Indies series. He was there on the first day, but didn't end up in the playing 11. And Stuart Law came out and said he missed the first game for personal reasons and then wasn't with the squad for the last 2 games. But he's now back in his national colours, and he is hoisted high into the air towards long on, and it's dropped. Burst through the hands of Nandan Yadav. And we spoke about the importance of Nepal's fielding. That should have been taken. Lamachani should have celebrated his return to the national team with a wicket second ball. Instead it goes for 6.
Yeah, he should have taken that. He was really comfortably under the ball, but it burst it through the hands.
Back live with you now. Goes flatter, goes with the googly. Yeah, one thing I know about Kuwait from covering so many of their games, they will continue to attack even if they lose 5, 6, 7 wickets. They have hitters all the way throughout their lineup. Big moment in the game, that the biggest swing we have really in our sport, a wicket or a maximum.
That is where Nepal has to
You've got to show their quality, Paresh, don't they, in the field?
Yes, they have to. Not only 3 or 4 players, but all 10, including the keeper. They have to feel well.
And I suppose that's where historically there's been a bit of weakness from the likes of Lalit Rajbanshi, who does work very hard at his fielding, maybe Lamachani himself, but you'd have expected Nandan Yadav to take that very catchable opportunity. But instead it just burst through his hands. It almost felt like he didn't get a touch on it. It just kind of went straight through them.
It looked like he was under the ball very comfortably in the first instant, but I don't know, however he missed the catch. Probably the light was not the issue, the floodlight was not the issue.
Yeah, he won't have been looking directly into either of the 2 big pylons there from the angle that it came at, so don't think it should be a floodlight issue, but either way, just misjudging the depth of it as Lamachani comes round the wicket now. swept around the corner, but there is protection down there, so it will be 10 runs from Lamachani's first, the best over of the chase for Kuwait. The score, 41 for 3.
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 8 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
स्पेशल सेलिब्रेशन्सलाई झन्नै स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ केएफसी
At number 9, but they'll just keep coming and coming and coming at Nepal.
That is where Nepal should capitalize. There's a bowling change. Dipender Singh Airi, the offie, comes into the attack to the left-hander, Yashin Patel.
This is a good move. Irie is interested with an LBW appeal. His initial instinct was to go for the piece of fielding to the leg side. That won't have been far away. Won't have missed leg stump by much this. You feel like these 4 overs, or potential 4 overs of Irie, are very important. When he's good with the ball, he's exceptional, isn't he? He can go at sort of 3.5, 4 runs and over. And they need that from him tonight.
And he bowls very quick through his overs. Coming round the wicket to the right-hander as well.
He simply does everything on fast forward. And the problem is he's so quick between his deliveries, so quick at fielding off his own bowling. He can bowl an over against you in a flash before you even know it's got through you as a batting pairing. And I think he's bowling as well as he's ever bowled. And look at the way he becomes a 12th fielder. They take him on, run out, opportunity. Oh, and so nearly the 4th wicket. Irie sprinted 30 yards and picked up and through in one motion. It's not 11 fielders out there when Irie's about, it's 12.
He is a live wire in the field. Look at him go after the ball.
You've got to recognise your fielder there if you're Kuwait. This is close as well. Direct hit. Oh, might have been gone. Great umpiring from Phil Gillespie, who gets the right decision. Asif Sheikh appealing to the wrong side. And again, flat through the air. He'll again field off his own bowling. Does Dipender Singh Airi know that other players are allowed to get involved in the game, or he just does it all himself?
He's so quick that he can cover the 30-yard circle by himself. He doesn't need any other fielders.
Literally can't he? Remarkable efforts and energy and enthusiasm and passion for the game. Good start from Irie. Just going to be 4 from his first over. That's what Nepal needed after a big 10-run over off Lamachani. End of the 8th. It's 45 for 3.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 8 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Skyworth Home Appliances.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
स्पेशल सेलिब्रेशन्सलाई झन्नै स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ केएफसी
T20 auction for Kuwait players. Lamachani's cut away for a single. Mohammad Aslam, the captain, he went for 14,000 to the Sharjah Warriors. Mohammad Shafiq, who we saw bowl so well there in the first innings, he went for 10,000 to the MI Emirates. Bilal Tahir to the Desert Vipers. Meet Bavsar for 14,000 to the Gulf Giants. Adnan Idris, who is not in the squad, I don't think, went to the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders. And then no surprise to see it was Anudeep Chanthamara off to Dubai Capitals. So that's a huge development, isn't it? You come in, you start to play with some of the best players in the world, you go into really professional environments. They might not play every game, but whatever exposure they get is going to help Kuwaiti cricket.
Yeah, it will surely help their development of in their particular game as well.
What was the talk back in Nepal about Sandeep Lamachani missing out on those games? I think most Nepal fans obviously want him in the 11. It was a big surprise to see him not playing there.
Yeah, that is what the head coach Stuart Law in the press conference said, that because of personal reason that he didn't play. Apart from that, we don't know anything.
Back into the 15, straight into the 11. Looks in good rhythm to me. As he's pumped down the ground, good place to hit here. And it's going to be one bounce and fly for 4. Great footwork. In fact, it's going to go all the way for 6. Would like another look at that. Thought it might have just bounced once in front of the rope. Giving us a maximum.
Yeah, again, coming down the track, hitting it straight.
Just out of our camera shot. Maybe just cleared the rope. Indeed, Phil Gillespie had no hesitation in raising the arms aloft. Much more like it. Maybe this angle will tell us. Get a look here. Come back live now. Again, he goes straight down the ground. Equation starting to become more manageable. That 6 brought the 50 up, Paresh.
Yes, it sure did. And Nandan Yadav dropped the catch off Clint Anto. Yeah, it cleared the rope.
I knew it bounced on grass. Didn't know it was just over the rope. As they won't get the single here. Another expensive over for Nepal. Kuwait coming into this chase. A good little 4th wicket partnership brewing up. 9 from it. It's 54 for 3.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
Panchakanya bathwear, luxury made affordable.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल
Warm-ups, plenty of options. Rohit Paudel too, the skipper. They tend to all. I can't remember a game where they've only gone with 5 bowlers in recent times.
Yeah, they have plenty of options for the captain Rohit. He can come and roll his arms. Kushal Malla is there. Even Gulshan Jai is a very good quick bowler.
Forgot to mention Kushal Bertel as well. Of course, he was again in wicket-taking form. I suppose with Lamachani back in, he might be used a little bit less with the ball, although, again, those two operated very well in tandem in St. Vincent in the T20 World Cup, where, well, Bertel was close to unplayable, 4 wickets against South Africa. I thought he bowled so well. Was it the first game, or probably the second game, wasn't it, against the West Indies? And some of the catching as well. Gulshan Jam, magnificent. Oh, they're going to take on Irie. Run-out chance. Direct it. Gone. You run at your peril to this man. Oh, out comes the cartwheel. And he's nailed the landing to go with it. Outstanding fielding, outstanding celebrations. It's the one, it's the only. Dipender Singh Irie.
Yeah, his celebration is so unique. He cartwheels of his own bowling, a direct hit. There was no single whatsoever in that occasion. Oh. Hits the stump.
Now keep your eyes on the celebrations. They might be even better than the run out. He says thank you very much. Off he goes. Up and down. Nails the landing. 10 out of 10 from me. Oh, you've got to love it. It's going to take us to the drinks break. The cardiac kids raising the pulses again. Clinto's gone for 26. It's 56 for 4.
Nepal top, sub TikTok.
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
Nepal top, sub TikTok.
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
यो डाक्टर नवीनको सधैँ नयाँ चमकदार देखिने घर जसको सबै छिमेकीले गुनासो मात्रै गर्छ कसैको नयाँ घर हेरेर घाँटी बाङ्गिएको गुनासो सबै हैरान आए लिएर गुनासोको चाम
छोरा जन्मिँदा घरमा एसियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन लगाएको त्यति नै हो
यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
Hotel booking अब इसेवाबाटै 2000 plus hotels all across Nepal. Hotels with the best pools. Relax, retreat, rejuvenate. Hotels for everyone. Escape to a holiday without the hassle. अब hotel booking पनि इसेवाबाटै
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला यति कार्पेट कार्पेटको शहंशाह
Skyworth Home Appliances.
पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि
Greece. He's at the non-strikers end, the skipper, Mohamed Aslam, because that's where the run-out was affected. You have to love the energy and the joy that Dipendra Singh Airi and indeed many of this Nepal team bring to the game. How difficult was it to execute a run out like that off your own bowling as well?
It's actually very difficult, and to be honest, there was no run in that. He just ran blindly.
It's one of those ones as well, a little bit like the chance they nearly gave him trying to run two to him off his own bowling. It's just bad recognition of the fielder. You should know it's Dipendra Singh Airi, so you know you don't risk that single. With due respect, if that's a Karen KC, you might say, okay, yeah, we'll take it on. We'll find a way to hustle home for one. Here's the skipper. He's a very fine cricketer. Both with bat and ball, and he'll have a role to play here. But it's a tricky position. They need 8.5 runs per over because at the halfway stage of this chase, it's 57 for 4.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि सेवाबाटै
नेपाल टप सब ठीक ठाक
Skyworth Home Appliances.
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ केएफसी
On this particular pitch, with the style in which Bertel bowls, you might be tricky, could get a few to skid on.
Yes, that is what Navin Raj did for Kuwait, the skiddy leg spinners that he bowled.
Starts with a loose one, but there isn't much bounce in the surface, so it isn't punished and put away. Yasin Patel will probably have to find a way with Mohamed Aslam to get this scoreboard moving, because to get 10, 11, 12 runs per over towards the death here, not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. 4 wickets are already back in the hut. And Kushal Burtel has the second best strike rate in T20Is.
Oh, Bertel nearly ran across the non-striker there. Might have fancied his chances of getting towards it. For Nepal, would there have been nerves today? I know the preparation couldn't have been any better. A series win over the West Indies, couple of wins in the warm-ups, and what seems like a very happy and stable squad under Stuart Law, who's come in and done a great job. But there will have been nerves with the scale of the prize and the pressure that is always going to be in these qualifiers.
Yeah, the qualification is in stakes, so each and every team, they will have nerves. We saw that in the first game here in this ground. UAE chasing a mere total of 119. There were nerves as well.
They got themselves in a real tangle, didn't they? Required a very good fourth wicket partnership to pull it out of. The fire for them. It's one of those ones, I think, again, if you haven't watched the match, you say, oh, well, the UAE have won that comfortably. It really wasn't the story for probably, well, maybe 10, if not 15 overs of the chase. Starts to get his length a bit better.
4 singles in the first 4 deliveries of Kushal Patel's first over. The required rate is inching towards 9. It's 8.68 at the moment.
Just have a bit of breaking Nepal Premier League news, I suppose, with so many Nepal fans watching. I think this is official. One of the first overseas signings of season 2 of the Nepal Premier League, George Munsey of Scotland, going to go to the Biratnagar Kings alongside Sandeep Lamachani. Didn't play the first season, so great to have him in for the second year. Well, what a cricketer he is. He's in the best form of his career.
Yes, he is, and he's been scoring runs.
Scoring runs are fun at the moment, in ODI cricket in particular. Such a good record. Going to be 6 singles from Kushal Patel's first over. Not the best one, a little bit all over the place with his lengths, but gets away with it. End of the 11th, 63 for 4. Yeah, that second edition of the Nepal Premier League. There'll be more than a few cricketers here from some of the associate sides hoping to put themselves in the shop window for that.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
sunflower oil मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल
The attack, the captain coming round the wicket. What's the plan here? Why is Dipender Singh Ari being taken out of the attack as they get back for a second?
Probably he's going to bowl the death overs. That is why Rohit Paudel himself coming into the attack.
You would suspect that Kuwait might recognise this as an over to attack. And that's exactly what the captain of Kuwait has done. Picks up a brace of 2s to begin with.
Yes, swept it into the gap on the leg side. 2 runs taken. Was not in control but got the gap. Ran hard for the second one.
Down the ground and straight to the man. Well, that's why Rohit Paudil's brought himself into the attack. It's to get rid of his opposite number. It's another inspired bowling change. I think it's the 4th that's resulted in a wicket immediately. And the captain himself has a big, big smile on his face as you can understand why Mohammad Aslam's gone after him. The right matchup, all he could do was pick out, I think it's Kushal Patel, is it, down there at long on?
Yes, it was a simple catch to him. Whatever Rohit Paudel touches, it's turning into gold at the moment for Nepal.
Yeah, you're spot on, and it's that trademark. I love that celebration he's got. He kisses the ball, sends a love up to the fans. Good change of bowling. It's a big wicket. Aslam's gone for 7, and Nepal are very, very pleased all of a sudden with their position. 61 for 5.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन। आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप, सब ठिकठाक।
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
Skyworth Home Appliances.
We're speculating about will be Shiraz Khan, the leg spinner, down at number 8. There is still batting to come for Kuwait, but just regularly losing wickets, and Nepal's fielding's not been at its very best, but it's applying enough of a chokehold alongside some skillful bowling to have them on top at the moment. Will that old Achilles heel of the struggles at the death with their death bowling maybe come back to haunt them, or can they close this out, Paresh?
Well, Kami had a very good first spell.
Oh, he's nearly created another run-out chance to Pendra Singh Iree. I think the thing that constantly surprises batters is his speed to the ball, yes, but then the pace of the release. And the two of those combined is what makes him such a firecracker, so dangerous in the field. And you just cannot run a single anywhere in his vicinity. And here's it straight out again. Dipendra Singh Iree does it once more. 12 have been bowled, 67 for 5. And that task is getting ever taller and steeper for Kuwait. So we see the two Manhattan charts. They've really been dwarfed, haven't they, because of that.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
नेपाल टप, सब ठिकठाक।
Skyworth Home Appliances.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने, जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ के।
And he thinks that because it's the two left-handers out there, the best option is get the two off-spinners bowling in tandem. I like what he's doing, thinking through his options. And there also seems to be a willingness from the 11 to adjust to it. Some bowlers would get upset, only bowling one over and getting taken off. But Kushal Bertel, straight back in the field, takes a catch in the last over, straight back into his work. Nearly finds a way to cut that one off. Said it before, I would love, I'm not sure that the production budget will extend to it, I would love a Dipendra Singh Iree cam. Just watch that one dedicated. Here you go.
Almost gets to the ball.
Doesn't quite agree with the line that Bertel is running there and the angle that he's at. He's got to be straighter. Your extra cover fielder shouldn't be getting beaten straight, so he's got to just squeeze in a little bit. I think he's now made that adjustment. One-handed pickup. Gets Lalit Rajbanshi a backward point of all places. Not a position he's usually in.
Yeah, not a place that he usually fields at. And if there's no turn, you have to field a bit straight, like extra cover a bit straighter.
Good work from Bertel. Again, not beaten on his left-hand side. So making that adjustment, learning it, and that I think was kind of compelled upon him by Dipendra Singh Iree. We've barely blinked. This over is almost done. Just 4 singles from it. And Nepal have a real squeeze on. It's another great over. Iree has been exceptional. You might look in the scorebook and say none for 10, but he's really been a change maker in this second innings. And Nepal will race through their overs and continue to apply pressure. That required run rate, Paresh, it's now over 10.
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ, जोशको, उत्साहको, मेहनतको। लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल। एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन। यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार। शाइनदार।
Nepal's showing a lot of class here, a lot of experience. They were wobbling really in that first innings until Gulshan Jha came to the crease. I know Kushal Patel will probably get the plaudits, but I really feel as though Jha was the change maker. Just lost his grip there, actually, wrote Powell. It wasn't a case of seeing who was coming down the track. Yasin Patel batting in his cap. Always like to see that. Just looks better in the photos, doesn't it, rather than the helmet. Goes over the offside. Good read, really good read from Kushal Patel, who somehow is going to keep this to a single. Outstanding fielding, nearly creates a run out. And I think it's just as well that Yasin Patel was sent back. Fantastic speed to the ball and another quick release. Wonderful fielding.
A very good anticipation by Kushal Patel to his right. Sprints to the ball and releases it very quickly as well. Did Rohit Podal drop the ball? Oh, it was very, very close.
I think a good decision again. Rashid Riaz and Phil Gillespie have been outstanding. Just got back. Could still see a twister, a turn or two from here for Kuwait, but they have to start finding the boundary. They're having that same problem that Nepal had in between this kind of end of power play and 15th, 16th over marker, not able to find the rope with any regularity. Well, that's more like it attempted, but is long on going to nestle underneath it. Yes, he is. And Sandeep Jora is never going to drop that. Another fine fielder. Rohit Podal is two. He's got the wicket of Yasin Patel, and Nepal are maybe closing in on a victory here on the opening day.
Yes, a smart catch taken by Sandeep Jora, his second one in this innings. Yasin Patel played 27 deliveries for his 19, has to depart. He tried to hit it straight, but got the height, but not the distance. Easy catch for Sandeep Jora.
Yeah, great captaincy, leadership and quality from Rohit Podal. Just a little slower through the air, wasn't it? Don't think it's Kushal Malla that's taken the catch. We'll need to get that corrected. Definitely Sandeep Jora.
नेपाल टॉप को विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टॉप सब ठीकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला यति कार्पेट कार्पेटको शहंशाह
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ KFC.
Under Shiraz Khan will come to the crease. Might see the captain be really selfless here. He so often is. Maybe just bowl these two balls and then get out of his bowling for the day. Turn back to maybe Raj Banchi or Sandeep Lamachani. The Nepal fans are making a real racket here. They're loving every second. Great crowd for the opening day of the tournament and a lovely way to finish what's been three really engaging matches.
Yes, it has been the first game played on Oval 2. Oman beating Samoa by 5 wickets. And the second game here in this particular ground, UAE beating Qatar by 7 wickets. At the end of 14, Kuwait 76 for 6.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
sunflower oil मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
To the attack, his was very expensive for the first 2 overs. 9.5 his economy rate.
It's a good crowd in there now, isn't it? Sandeep Lamachani returns to the attack for his third. Googly across the left-hander. Don't think that was picked. Tahir Bilal stuck in the crease. Perfectly landed.
Sandeep can be very lethal in this situation. He bowls that googlies, accurate googlies that pitches and moves away from the left-hander.
Goes for it again. This could be Lamachani's return wicket. Yes, it is. And he takes a moment to give thanks. This time it is Kushal Malla that takes the catch. And lovely to see Gulshan Jha run a long way in to congratulate Lamachani. Those two very close indeed. Bertel with the high five for his fellow leg spinner. Jora with the congratulations too. This game, it's now only heading one direction, and it's heading the direction of the Himalayas.
Yet again another googly bowled by Sandeep Lamachani. Simple catch to Kushal Malla, a deep backward square leg. Tahir Bilal, the man who has to depart.
It's always the way Kuwait have played, isn't it? They keep going even when they lose wickets, but to hit square the wicket against the spin, not sure whether he was picking the googlies and the leg breaks and being able to tell them apart. It's a very low percentage shots, and well, Kushal Malla has taken that very comfortably. What?
नेपाल टॉप को विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टॉप सब ठीकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित.
Pull off something remarkable. As Naveen Raj is trapped straight in front. It's 2-2. Lamachani's on a hat-trick. Nepal thinking of a big win now.
Like we discussed earlier about Sandeep Lamachani, he enjoys bowling in this situation. He can be very lethal. That is what he's done. Back-to-back wickets. This was dead in front. Plum.
Yeah, I think it's a really good decision from an excellent umpire, Phil Gillespie. And I suppose a touch of redemption too for Sandeep Lamachani. He'll have been nervous, won't he, in the field? First 2 overs having gone for 19, but to come back and strike twice in the over, get back amongst the wickets, it's surely what he was born to do. Take wickets for his nation, Nepal. Back in amongst them. And nice to see him with a smile on his face and doing.
पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित. लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल.
पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ KFC.
There's a slip in place. Kushal Bertel is in slips.
There's only been one T20I hat-trick in history for Nepal. That belongs, well, who else could it be but to Karen KC. It came against Papua New Guinea. Lamachani has a chance at it. He's got 2-2. Can he make it the perfect 3? He'll be bowling to number 10. Slip comes into place. Cover and mid-wicket hovering. What is the googly? It was always going to be the googly, but well kept out by Anudeep.
And the length was a bit shorter. He could have bowled a bit fuller and tossed it up. And nevertheless, back-to-back wickets for Sandeep Lamachani. A very good comeback over for him.
Yeah, really good. Maybe thinking of a double or triple wicket made in the way he's going. Another googly kept out, just watched by Anudeep. And Nepal are thinking, well, not just to the 2 points, they're now thinking, hold on, if Kuwait go through this group, can we make this a 40 or a 50 run win? If they do, they'll get a good net run rate boost to go alongside it, and it would be a dream start. Oh, what a beauty that is. I'm not quite sure what they're appealing for. Is it LBW? Is it caught behind or is it maybe stumped? I think it's beaten everything. The perfect leg break. You won't see a better one bowled. When it's a double wicket maiden, it somehow misses everything.
Yes, it was a flatter one, but turned viciously. Missed everything, missed the bat, missed the pad.
It's hard to bowl a better leg break than that. The drift and the angle in, it's pitched probably, around middle and leg stump even, just to confirm the side-on appeal also correctly given, not out. He did take it was all happening. Caught behind appeal, stumping appeal, neither given as Lalit Rajbanshi returns.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Skyworth Home Appliances.
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
Yeah, I think the attack complements each other really beautifully. It's so balanced. And they're all quite different, if that makes sense. Okay, yes, Lalit Rajbanshi and Kushal Malla both bowl left arm spin. It's completely different. Rohit Paudel, Dependra Singh Ari, both bowl off spin. Completely different. Lamachani, Kushal Bertel, both leg spin. Completely different styles. And that's why you've got 6 options there. We haven't even mentioned Gulshan Jha, Sampal Kami or Nandan Yadav, who again are all 3 very different types of seamers. So 9 bowlers I've just mentioned there, and every one of them can be a threat, it can put pressure on the opposition, and it's a really nice position to be in as a captain.
Yeah, all the nine bowlers with different dynamics. Talking about Sompal Kami, he skids the ball. Talking about Nandan Yadav, he gets that bounce. He has pace. Even Gulshan Jha can bowl in a pace.
In a funny way, it must be a relief that Sandeep Jura doesn't bowl too much, because otherwise you'd have 10 options up your sleeve as Rohit Paudel.
Even Asif Sheikh can take off his pads and come and bowl.
No, that's a bridge too far, Paresh. I'm not going there with you. Arif, his brother, maybe, but not Asif. I'm not going to buy into him ever bowling a ball in international cricket. I don't think he's ever done it either. Yeah, and for Kuwait, they just look a bit shell-shocked now, don't they? Both of these are capable of clearing the ropes, but are they maybe almost playing a little bit with net run rate in mind, thinking, okay, this game's probably gone, can't get 15 and over from here, let's narrow the gap as much as we can, and then we're going to have to go and beat Japan.
Only 2 runs of this over. 16 gone. Kuwait are 78 for 8.
We're just looking at.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
नेपाल टप सब ठीक ठाक
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला यति
Incredible to think that, though, isn't it? That, okay, you might say Malaysia beating Qatar would be an upset, but Japan will fancy their chances against Kuwait, and certainly Papua New Guinea will be favourites against Samoa. We could have a position, unlikely it might be, that at the end of the second day we actually know the 3 sides eliminated. Now, all of those games on day 3 will be very important, because then they will all dictate who takes through the 2 points to the Super 6. So it's not like there's going to be dead rubbers. Absolutely not. But that would be a turn up for the books, wouldn't it? Presuming Nepal close this win out, if Malaysia were to beat Qatar, if Japan were to beat Kuwait, and if Papua New Guinea were to beat Samoa, we'd know the 3 sides eliminated after just 6 games.
Yes. In a couple of days' time as well.
Remarkable. Could all be over inside, well, 48 hours, for some 36 hours. So a lot to play for tomorrow. Every single game, all of the 21 going to count hugely. That one's going to miss the leg stump. It's a sharp turning googly, and Asif Sheikh nearly creates a run-out chance. Good umpiring again from Phil Gillespie.
Sandeep Lamachani appealing every delivery that hits the pad. That one going down the leg side.
That one's hit the bat. He's desperate for wickets, isn't he? Always hungry to take wickets like any good leg spinner.
Yes, he is missed out on 3 T20Is in Sharjah. This is a comeback tournament for him. Has taken 2 wickets already.
Looks like he's found a nice rhythm now. They're going to try and run an overthrow here. Jazz throw goes to the keeper's end, and they will get home.
We often don't see this overthrows by Nepal. Four runs off the last over, Sandeep Lamachani. Last ball to go.
Another googly. It was always going to be a googly. He'll finish his 4-over allocation. Great return given his first 2 overs, none for 19. He finishes with 2 for 22 from his 4, and Kuwait 82 for 8.
हरेक लक्ष्य को आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 8 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine. यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
स्पेशल सेलिब्रेशन्सलाई झन्नै स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ KFC।
As Raj Banshi as number 9. And now it's going to be all over, bar the shouting. Good glove work from Asif Sheikh to hold on to a sharp catch right off, I think maybe the toe end of the bat of Shiraz Khan. Raj Banshi has his second. Nepal of 9.
Very smart catch taken by the keeper, Asif Sheikh. It was quicker through the air, Lalit Rajbangshi. Yeah, you're right, Lenny. It was toe end of the bat. Rashid Riaz, the umpire, no hesitation to give it out. Shiraj Khan has to depart for 3. It's all done and dusted for Kuwait. They are 9 down for just 82 runs.
Well, a remarkable performance.
Sab ठीक ठाक।
Sunflow Sunflower Oil, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद।
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 8 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Sunflow Sunflower Oil, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद।
नेपाल टॉप सब ठीक ठाक।
Dominated the vast majority then of this second innings as the youngster comes out at number 11. Daunting task for him. Just try to get Anu deep onto strike to see if he can hit a few boundaries. But Kuwait are going to go down to defeat here. So nearly from that delivery it was all over. And what's more, particularly if Kuwait end up beating Japan and coming through to the Super Sixes alongside Nepal, presuming that Nepal of course can get past Japan, they'll take a good 2 points and a net run rate boost into that Super Six. So an ideal start for Nepal and what looks like it's pretty tricky batting conditions overall here at the main oval.
Very well bowled by Lalit. Work cut out for Kuwait. Farooq, the number 11 batter for Kuwait. He bowled very well in his first spell in the first innings.
Worked into the leg side, should just get the single, so he'll get off the mark. We've no doubt that the vast majority of Nepal is watching this match and enjoying the action, and we do have to give a shout out to Paris Kadka, the secretary of the Cricket Association of Nepal, who is watching on. He's just posted a tweet with an amazing photo from Sajan Lamachani, the official Cricket Association of Nepal photographer. It looks like he's levitating in mid-air, Depender Singh Airi, and he says, "What sport are we playing?" That's brilliant. I'll give that a retweet. That is absolutely brilliant. End of the 18th over, 83 for 9. Rajbanshi ends with excellent figures. He's got 2 for 17. And Nepal, you remember, the second highest ranked side in this qualifier, no doubt will have had some nerves coming into today, particularly with the bat in that first innings.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक, एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
Skyworth Home Appliances.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
स्पेशल सेलिब्रेशन्सलाई झन्नै स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ KFC।
As it does loop up, and it's going to be a wicket, and fittingly it'll be Depender Singh Airi that takes the catch. It rounds out well, close to a pitch perfect performance, certainly with the ball anyway, just the one drop catch in the field. Some real highlight moments, particularly provided by the Tiger himself with that world class run out, as good as you'd ever want to witness. Nepal ultimately proving a bit too good for Kuwait, who had their moments, particularly in the first innings. But it's the dream start in a tournament structure and format that you have to get off to a good start in. Nepal win by 58 runs.
Yes, and a very big margin of win. Simple catch to Airi, the last wicket. Handshakes all around. Nepal winning the game by 58 runs, a big margin. That will boost their net run rate.
And on the whole, you would have to say between the two innings the right result. They have outplayed Kuwait, who definitely, I thought they were so good with the ball and so impressive with their bowling plans. They generally fielded pretty well too. But as the teams go off to shake hands, the two support staffs are already doing that on the sideline. Rohit Patel pats Kushal Bertel on the back and says, "Thank you for your runs," and indeed